She likes what she likes, and she could put it all on you, baby. If you bout that life, because you don't got time to choose it.
Hey tribe, it's Kia from Heritage 93, and you all know that we mainly get into natural nail care things that help you nourish your natural nails. But a few of you all have been asking about whether or not I've ever tried fake nails. And why yes, I have. One time. There was a time where I had the super lavish set of cornstarch nails. I liked them and they lasted a surprisingly long while, but I had no idea how to take them off. I honestly didn't think I'd get that far in keeping them. But eventually, they started coming off, doing what nail enhancements tend to do sometimes. And in that one mega nail care tips video, no pun intended, I remember saying, hey, you know what? Just avoid false nail enhancements if you want healthy natural nails. In hindsight, I just wasn't at all prepared for the removal, and despite my best efforts to soak my nails, I rushed the process, and the enhancements rushed off with the topmost surfaces of all of my nail plates, which left me with super visibly damaged nails. And I just had to suck it up, learn my lesson, and let the girls grow back out. Now, just a bit earlier in time, I was helping a nail friend remove her dip powder nails, and I definitely wanted to be careful with removal this time, as I had no idea what to expect, and I wanted the best removal results for her, no matter how long it took. The thing was though, it literally took hours. Manually filing off the top layer like normal, then following up with the first two soak-off techniques using two pretty powerful solvents failed us miserably. Embarrassing. So we got a little desperate and tried double boiling acetone in a bigger bowl of water over the stove heat. Please do not try this at home. There is definitely a better and more safe way. But of course, since I didn't have that one triangle tool at the time, I had to work off her finely softened dip powder with my precious glass nail tool. That was a nail experiment and an overall experience I will never forget. But even after completely restoring her natural nails, I couldn't stop thinking about how her nail plate had a lot of unnatural horizontal divots in them. She told me that that's just what happened over time whenever her nail tech would drill off her nail enhancements before applying a fresh set. So today, I have dip powder nails that I'm actually ready to remove, as they came out a little bulkier than I was initially anticipating. But this time, I brought backup. I'll be working with some power tools from today's sponsor, MelodySusie. MelodySusie specializes in innovative at-home and pro nail tech type solutions to help make extensive nail tasks like enhancement removal much easier. Now, some disclaimers. Number 1, I have never used a nail drill before in my life. And number 2, I am absolutely not a licensed nail tech, just nail care technical. But as I know, a lot of you all have asked about nail enhancements and have shared your personal nail damage struggles with me, I wanted to see firsthand if my natural nails would survive the dip nail experience and thrive once again, or would we re-enter Shamblesville and have a second look around the place. No pressure, right? Let's get started. Now, MelodySusie has sent over 2 completely different nail drills for today's efforts. Let's start with unboxing the electric nail drill called Stacy, currently retailing for $36 US. And right off the bat, there is a user manual, 6 varying metal drill bits, and medium grit sandbands galore. There's also a power control device with a speed control knob. The max speed for this system is 25,000 rounds per minute, but we'll get into the tea with speeds a little later. For now, here's the power supply cable, definitely important, and the other cable that comes attached to the silver handpiece. And to top things off, there's a cute standard glass file. Now, to put the system together, we have to connect the handpiece through to the handpiece jack, aka the motor. Now, note that this drill doesn't come with any bit pre-inserted in the drill, but it's always good to leave a bit in when not in use. Speaking of drill bits, again, this kit comes with 6, and I already know which one I want to work with today. It's the mandrel. According to legend, aka the manual, this bit is ideal for surface work, shortening the nail, and removal. But this bit also works well in tandem with sandbands like the super coarse one. Sandbands have varying degrees of roughness. The more intense the surface looks, the rougher it is. Kinda like manual nail files. Kinda. Now, I'm thinking this finer sandband would be best for removing gel, shellac, or any other cured but once was a liquid type nail enhancement. And this coarse file shall do the majority of today's dirty work in removing this dip powder, aka the thick hardened overlay enhancement. Now, to merge the sandband to the mandrel, I'm just gonna push it on down. Pretty straightforward. Now to get this bit in the drill, I'll press firmly till I can't press no more. Oh yes, so here we are. How wonderful. And then I noticed these holes in the back of the central hub, and I'm like, ah yes, these are holes for the bits for super easy access. Now that tap was just a transition, but now before all systems go, we have to plug in the mandatory power supply to the device, which completely powers the system from the wall's electrical outlet. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of Miss Stacy. For now, let's put her away just for a second as we make way for Mrs. Sparkle, aka the rechargeable electric nail drill, currently retailing for just under $160 US. And coming straight out of the box, she's giving protective veil, and she may or may not be the dramatic one of the two. Ah yes, we have a second protective covering. You know how in those tech reviews they pull off the protective plastic and it's kinda giving ASMR? I told you, this is nail care technical. And at first glance, this is definitely the dramatic one, but it's super sleek with a dedicated hip clip that you may or may not use, but you may find this forward and reverse switch super helpful when using your drill. Now, the max speed of this drill is 35,000 rounds per minute. Just know that that's 10,000 RPMs higher than Miss Stacy. Now, as we go deeper into the box of Sparkle, there is a charging cable, a few other accessories, and of course, the black handpiece that comes with a default holding or blank bit. Some of the other accessories include a purple place to rest your drill, 6 completely different looking drill bits with 6 varying textured stand bands, and 2 super boss looking drill bits. One being the colorful tungsten carbide drill bit, and the other being the white ceramic drill bit. Now this system also comes with a detachable place to stick your drill for rest if you need it. And altogether is powered by a rechargeable battery that makes it the very portable option. Now there is another thing about the Sparkle Pro's handpiece that was definitely worth mentioning. At first, we have the drill in the locked position, which means we can't remove the bit at all. It won't even budge. So, okay, you have to twist to unlock it, right? Well, it made a click, but you will soon find that you still can't remove the bit because you have to twist twice to hear and feel the 2 clicks. Then and only then will you be able to retrieve the blank bit from the depths of the drill and replace it with the bit of your choosing. Now this bit here is super pretty and dramatic, and I already know she can shake some stuff up. So we're just gonna replace this bit and twist twice because she likes what she likes. And now that she is set, secured, and ready to go, on the other hand, we still have to connect the power. But Sparkle was like, wait! Because since this is the first time this drill was used, it has to be charged back up to full capacity before we start using it. So we'll just plug in some power to the power port and leave this one to charge for a while. In the meantime, here are the girls, and as mentioned before, they're a little bulkier than normal. You know, I made my first attempts with the dip powder application, but I think I can do a little bit better job later on, so I wanted to go ahead and remove this dip powder enhancement. But you know, if I'm being honest, it was cute and it was kind of fun while she lasted though. Now, of course, flipping to this angle, I'm going back to reach for Miss Stacy and the mandrel bit with the super coarse sandband. Ooh, just look at that hardened, rough, but glossy texture. Now, the one thing about Stacy is that every time you power her on, you can see and hear a safety tick to start. And then as you turn the speed control knob, she is ready to go. Now, I thought it would be helpful to show you all the action, but from this angle too. This device is definitely less sensitive and more feel-based. It's really quick, but let's watch it all together now. Now, the plan is to use this bit to work side to side and up and down to slowly work off the first layer of that glittery red polish. And on a low-medium speed, we're already starting to knock away the first shiny layer. But this one is definitely a bit of a biter. Again, no pun intended, but you will see what I mean in just a second. For now, I think it's safe to work in small back and forth motions, staying closer to the center of the nail so I can feel her out and gauge what she's giving. As I get a bit more comfortable, I'm doing a little roaming around the cuticle and the sides. But I see that I'm barely breaking through the glitter lacquer layer, so I think we can go a little deeper. Once we've sanded off most of the glitter, I want to go ahead and switch the nail bits. And to do this with Stacy, we first want to turn off the system and then firmly pull with one hand on the drill and the other hand on the head of the bit. Now I'll be using the small barrel drill bit, which is best for surface work. And with a little putt-putt push, little barrel is ready to go. Now this bit is definitely better suited for doing finer surface work, especially around the sides and edges of the nails. And now that the glitter, gel top coat, and a few layers of the color have been matted up and removed, we are ready to move on to the other 4 nails on this hand. So I'll switch back to the mandrel with a coarse sand band, and here are some things that I, as a newbie, wanted to keep in mind. Number 1, I wanted to keep the surface of the drill bit parallel to the nail as much as I could. If I don't, I'm pretty sure I run the risk of something flying or ripping off like it did here. Also, when using the mandrel, I tried to stay away from the cuticle after that, and a few other things started to happen. You know, just focusing my efforts on the middle surface of the nail where it's safe. Another thing, I tried to always keep the drill moving so that I didn't feel the heat and the resulting surge shoot up my fingers and hands. I did feel it twice though, and the girls do not approve, absolutely not a vibe. And then the 4th thing, I had to remind myself, whatever I do, make sure I don't go past the color, because past the color is nail plate, and past the nail plate is nail bed, and innocent flesh. But as I got more and more comfortable and confident, I started going a little bit faster and switching nails in the name of surface work. I then switched bits again to the rounded bit, which I also really liked. And of course, according to legend, this bit is good on things like surface work and shortening the length of the nail. So there we have the basic workings of Stacy and her drill bits. And so far we have completely matted and roughed up nails that has pretty much all of the colored layers intact. As for my undersides, they're good, just a little dusty, except for my thumb. Yeah, she's definitely got a few scratches. Now remember when I mentioned that the mandrel was not meant to go near the edges too much for me? Yeah, that snappy snatchback is why. But you know, that is a battle scratch that I am happy to end this side of things with, you know, because it could definitely be worse. Now, just off site and out of the lights, we have Sparkle finally charged up and ready to go. I'd say that it took around 90 minutes to 2 hours to reach a full charge. So I'll take her back under the lights and test out the tungsten torch before getting started. Now the goal here is to get these shiny nails just as dull and tired looking as these nails. And for reference, here's a quick look at how Sparkle starts up and how it looks and sounds. Our max speed for today will be an 8. Now, starting with my golden glittery thumb first, I'm taking this drill to do my initial surface work. But it is super clear that this drill and this bit did not come around to play today. Yep, I definitely noticed a difference in power, especially after starting off the other hand with Stacy. Now, what's not super clear though is that just below this golden hollow is 3 layers of clear dip powder on my nails. Now remember, this is nail care technical, not absolutely out of my mind. And for kicks, here's a look at what this drill sounds like as it goes. I noticed this drill had a whirl sound in the background as soon as I lifted it off the nail plate, as if it's trying to ease up or balance back the motor's efforts to keep things stable. It's like she knows she's powerful and she's just being considerate. What a mood. Now I'll speed up the footage just a smidge, but still focus on removing the lacquer and that shiny top coat of each nail. I definitely enjoyed how efficient that colorful bit was, paired with that sparkle girl. It was really nice. And just like that, all of the girls are dull and tired, but I still want to go back in with Stacy and the mandrel. This is more like a mix of optional and overkill, but I still wanted to go back in and smooth out the surface just a little bit more, which turned out to be a, bit of a grave mistake. Because I done told y'all that mandrel with that sandband is a bit with bite. And I actually got a battle scar from getting a little too close and comfortable with that cuticle, and she spun a little off target. Now, going back to Sparkle, I know we talked about working to a speed of 8, but I was really impressed by how low the vibration was and how there was no wobble or funny business in the drill, even at the top speed of 35k RPM. Watch this. Now, nail drill speeds are a lot like cars. Just because it has a top speed, it doesn't mean that you should ever operate the machine anywhere close to that speed. And now that we're done, I'll replace the torch bit with the default blank bit and lock it in place with 2 clicks. And finally, we have all the girls on the same page and ready for the final steps in the dip removal process, with just a scratch as a proud souvenir. Now, with the hottest water you can get your hands on that's not actually boiling, we're gonna fill a large plastic bowl with it. Now, in a smaller glass bowl, trust me on this, we're gonna fill it with 100% pure acetone. And be generous with the pour like it's a whole celebration. Now, take your dull, tired, and desurfaced dip powder nails and dip them in the acetone. You'll notice that your dip powder will begin to disintegrate in the now heated acetone. Remember, acetone is highly flammable when exposed to fire or physical direct heat. But with a double boil of slowly cooling hot water, you are safe and smart. Now, after 10 minutes, my nails started to peek through and everything is looking promising. So I'll start to swish and rub the girls to the finish. On the other hand, I wanted to test if swishing my nails around in the same kind of double boiled acetone setup, but as soon as I placed my hands and nails in the heated acetone, would take less time. And after 6 minutes of constant swishing, the girls are finally free of all the dip powder debris. Now back under the lights, the girls are looking a little worn out. But of course, there's nothing that a quick mani refresher can't fix. So yes, the girls are officially restored back to normal, plus a little scratch. But you know what? I'll take it. I've been through so many nail care ringers, and I'm honestly so pleased that this is the final result. Healthy looking nails that didn't suffer a scratch on the top of the actual nail plate. Now, when it comes to these 2 nail drills, 2 different kinds of nail peeps come to mind. I think the Stacy electric nail drill would be a good selection for the nail enhancement removal beginner or the nail enhancement lover who just wants to get the removal job done without all of the fancy bells and whistles of a more robust nail drill. This nail lover doesn't mind operating a system with 2 cords or having to always have a power supply in order to operate the device. They might like the convenient 6-bit holders and very well like describing the operating speed as super slow, slow, slow medium, fast, instead of referring to the RPM by a technical number. This is a straightforward system for the straightforward nail enhancement lover. Now on the other side we have sparkle, and with a 35,000 RPM, this powerful drill would be better suited for the nail enhancement lover who frequently enjoys getting their nail enhanced and wants the best tool to blow through that false nail. This nail lover may like things a little more technical, describing the RPM and speed of the nail drill by clear-cut numbers, so that there's no mistaking or guessing their power tool's current speed. Now, I like how both systems came with 2 different sets of drill bits, and I really appreciate how the Sparkle Pro nail drill came with 2 additional premium nail bits. That colorful tungsten definitely came in clutch. My least favorite was actually the sandband with the mandrel bit because she's a biter. But she did teach me a thing or two, all in a day's work. But all in all, seriously, I really don't have any complaints. I'm just really glad that I have my nails back like none of this ever happened. There's no trace of dip nail or nail damage, and that is something that I'm really proud to get behind. So yeah, a special thank you to MelodySusie for sending over these 2 nail drill systems and their many accessories, and for sponsoring this video to make way for some really cool, really solid natural nail care and restoration type content. So yes, I hope you all found this "how is this really about to go down, bye bye dip powder" type presentorial and found this really helpful for your natural nail and dip powder needs. As always, thank you all so much for watching and engaging. Take very good care and happy nail growing. I will see you very soon in the next one.